So 2XKO was released. Honestly, I did not know about this game being released. I knew it was a thing. I wanted to play this. I just never got around to it because honestly, I just thought the game was not going to be released. Free to play game by Riot Games, and they were able to release the game. And unfortunately, they had to cut some people after the game was released. Personally, I think the game bit off more than it could chew. I don't think that the game is a failure or is not successful. It's just that they wanted a lot of revenue to come in to sustain the staff that they had, and basically they didn't make that much money. So half of the staff is pretty much gone. So I'm going to look at this article by Tom Cannon. I think that's remember his name. He put this out on this on the Riot Games website. Give my thoughts and opinions on it, and we'll just go from there. So I appreciate everybody who's been coming through and watching the channel. You guys are absolutely awesome. I really, really appreciate it. So it says, hey everyone, I just wanted to take a moment to share an important update from on 2XKO. This is a difficult update to share, but we want to be clear about what's changing and why. After a lot of discussion and reflection, we're reducing the size of 2XKO team. Like I said, I don't think they made enough money to keep the team that they had. So yeah, like I said, they thought they were gonna make more than what they did. They bit off more than they could chew. And this is what happens sometimes. We have a new IP, new games. This not just in the gaming industry. This happens in all types of life. When you are starting up something, sometimes you just don't make that money to keep everybody that you started with. You have to cut them and let them go. So it says, I want you to know that the decision wasn't made lightly. We expanded from PC to console. We saw consistent trends in how players were engaging 2XKO. The game has resonated with the passionate core audience, but overall the momentum hasn't reached the level that needed to support a team of this size long term. See, this is what I'm saying. That's exactly what happened. They just was not able to keep everybody together because they didn't have that support. Now, I'm not going to get into the rest of the article. I'm pretty sure there's other videos that basically said what's going on with this. Long story short, they're going to continue to support it for what it is. They're going to be a part of the competitive series. They're going to be a part of FGC. They're going to try to put the game out there for people to play and move forward. Now, this is what I think that's going to happen at the end of the day. I think the game is still going to be somewhat successful. I don't think it's going to fall off and die. I think the game is actually pretty solid, and it's going to have its cult following. And is that going to be enough to keep it sustained? I think it's going to be just enough to keep it above float. Now, I could be wrong, and the game could just fall off and die, because like it is a free-to-play game, and when it's a free-to-play game, these are the type of things you have to deal with. The monetization side of things. Like, there's a lot of free-to-play games that are successful, but when you're in the fighting game space, this is a little bit different. I think the only game that really was successful in this, now quote me if I'm wrong, I think the only one that was kind of successful with this was not Mortal Kombat, but Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct was a situation where you did pay for players, and it kind of evolved from there. But Killer Instinct has a cult following since 1994. So same thing with Dead or Alive. I think last round, that was a core fighters thing when I think you played that for free, and you had to pay extra to get the rest of the characters. But once again, Dead or Alive been around since the 90s, so it does have a cult following to be somewhat sustainable. Even though Dead or Alive has some egregious microtransactions, that I'm not going to get into that, but it is what it is. But when you look at games like a 2XKO that is fairly brand new, it's going to be hard for them to keep this the way it is. So I think that the game is good enough to continue some sort of success. But like I said, they had like 160 something people, and they went down to like 80 something people when it came to reducing the size of the team. So now you're looking at a situation that they got to find a way to keep that team intact as well, because if they still can't get the support, it could be more a bigger issue than what they have on their hands now. Now, I think with them being in the FGC and them going to be somewhat competitive, I think the word of mouth is going to spread enough that people are actually going to give this game a try. As far as it making money off the microtransactions or the premium or the side of things, I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Now, for me, I'm definitely going to try this. I'm going to play it because I'm a big fan of fighting games. As far as me actually putting my money where my mouth is and buying certain stuff, I can see myself doing it, but I actually have to experience the game. I didn't get to play the other parts of the game. And like I said, I would have been playing it earlier, but I didn't even know this game was released yet until this happened. So, but when I saw this and I've been, seeing what happened with the downsizing, this basically what the deal was. I mean, they thought they was gonna get something, but they got less than that, and they got to reduce the people that's in the whole the company. I mean, that's just how it be sometimes. It's just really unfortunate, but at the end of the day, I am willing to give it a shot because I love fighting games. I mean, I gave Tokon a try, and Tokon was pretty cool. And there was a couple other games that I did give a shot as well. So I'm here for it, and I think the game just looks very unique. I think it looks really cool. It's just that when you are in the gaming space, and like I said, you can't boil this down to just gaming. Or just when you're in any space and you're trying to project, sometimes you just don't you don't hit the mark. And when you don't hit the mark, you're gonna have to downsize, or in some cases, you're probably just gonna have to cut and run and shut down everything. I've seen this in regular stores in my neighborhood growing up. They would start up a nice little mom and pop shop, and it was like clothes or a candy shop or anything that sold food or whatever in my neighborhood, and they were trying to make a profit off that first month. And if once they didn't, they maybe hung around for another month, and then they end up close the shop altogether. So I've seen that happen on at least two or three occasions growing up. So this is nothing new when it comes to like regular business. It's like business 101. You got to make it to another to a certain goal as far as revenue, and if you don't make it, you're just going to have to cut your losses. This is look like that's what happened here, but you know, like I said, it's one of those things that happen. We are not necessarily into the space of making games and or promoting games, or you try to do something different, and you gotta have your ear to the audience. That's basically what it is. And I think they did an okay job of that because the game is pretty fun to play, but it's just that look, they flew too close to the sun. They bit off more than they could chew. They dug too far in the piggy bank, and they realized that, hey, the money that we dug out, we really shouldn't have spent that money, and we can't recoup. So it is what it is. So you guys, let me know what you guys think. I think that this is gonna be I think it's gonna be all right. I think they just had to do a little bit tweaking here and there. I think they're gonna be okay because of word of mouth, and I think people are gonna give the game a shot. But I don't know how long it's gonna be all right. This game could be gone within the next 6 months if nobody really pays for the microtransactions that's in the game. But I'm willing to give it a shot, and if I'm really really into it, I would do the same, and put my money where my mouth is, and buy a few of the microtransactions and support them. So I'm here for it. You guys let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here. I'll see y'all on the next one. All right, y'all. Peace.